People ask me all the time, what is the biggest failure that you ever had? And I would say it was a digital marketing company that I launched right after I sold my car dealership. Now, let me take you down this path. I was known in the car business as somebody who catered to women consumers. I wrote a book, Car Buying Her Way. I did television commercials around it. I was on magazines. I was even in Mademoiselle magazine telling my story about how powerful women consumers are. So when I sold the dealership, I made the decision I would start a digital marketing company called Cars Her Way. And it would be a portal where women could come buy cars from my approved car dealers. Had a radio show on iHeartRadio. Like, I thought we were going to kill it. And we did. The dealers came in, they all sponsored it. I had huge sponsorships through iHeartRadio. But this piece that I missed, and it absolutely to this day blows me back, is that women didn't want to be told how to buy a car. Now, they wanted to choose me when I was a car dealer and come do business with me because they liked what I stood for, but they didn't want to be told how to buy a car. And that's what my whole program was. So we went on for about 6 months. The radio show did okay. Then it started to falter. I started to lose all my sponsorship. And I looked up in about 9 months and the whole deal was dead. I didn't have the consumers that backed it. I lost the sponsorships, and ultimately we ended up losing the radio show. So I would say in business, that was one of my largest. It really was. It was probably the only time I really failed. And lesson learned. Never assume something's a great idea until you've really vetted it out. Now, I really believed I had vetted out Cars Her Way. iHeartRadio vetted it out with me. I had a primetime radio show after Rush Limbaugh. But what we didn't know is about the female consumers. And so, there was not a huge way to vet it out. And I wish I could have done something differently. But I think back on it, and I probably let it go on longer than it needed to. So if you're on an idea and it's not working out for you, sometimes you just have to just say, you know what, I need to move on. I need to try something different. I wish I would have done that. I probably would not have lost near as much money on the deal. I'm also a believer that if I was so passionate about it, and sometimes passion is not the reason to start a business, but I was so passionate about helping these female consumers that there were some red flags that came up and I ignored them. And so I would also tell you, do not ignore the red flags, and women, like especially women, if you're out there and you're watching this, like we have a gut, we have intuition. And my intuition told me probably 6 months before I closed it down that I should have closed it down. And I didn't do it. I just kept pushing because I did not want to fail. I did not want to have to face my sponsors, my dealers, iHeartRadio, and tell them that I failed. So also know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And that would be some of my best business advice.